Do not underestimate her usefulness. Like you, she is an essential part of the resurrection process for the Brotherhood of Shadow. And she has proved a useful tool to lure you here. The remnants of our bond allowed her to determine a great many things, including my presence on Korriban and the movements I have made across it. You are wrong. Shauna May was my pupil, not the shell I see before me. I act to deliver a rightful vengeance to who she once was, not what she has since become. Having already been weakened as a result of the ritual process, she was not in the best of conditions to learn of the truth behind your grand manipulation of her. Broken by these revelations, she has since been consumed by the dark side energies that infest this chamber. I doubt anyone, least of all you, will be able to reach her through the hatred and self-loathing I sense she now feels. Ask, and I will answer. Once I was a revered member of the Jedi Order that died, only to be born anew, a greater being. When I fought and defeated Shauna May during what is now called the Second Battle of Terrace, I made the mistake of underestimating the ferocity of the retreating Mandalorians. When they destroyed the walkway beneath my feet, I plunged into the darkness, leaving everything of significance behind forever. When I awoke, I was defeated. I was broken. I was alone. Trapped beneath what seemed like a mountain of rubble, I was forced to enter into a meditation to slowly heal my broken body. In this slumber, I became unaware of the events that transpired in the galaxy around me. Yet sometimes I caught a fleeting glimpse of my former Padawan's mind, as if some remnants of the bond we shared still existed. It was these glimpses that allowed me to piece together the truth behind her betrayal. When my body was finally healed, I awoke from my meditations with the strength to free myself from my makeshift tomb. The galaxy around me had become a very different place. What was once Jedi was now Sith, and already had they turned on one another. I began my search for the being that was once Shauna May, because I knew that out of anyone, it was she who could lead me to you, Revan. I somehow knew you were still alive, and I was right. I am a man who desires his revenge. Nothing more, yet nothing less. They were a necessary sacrifice. I needed something to coax Shauna May, and by extension, you out of hiding. It was not the result of this sacrifice, but the act itself which had purpose. The moment it happened, its tragedy was echoed across the currents of the Force. Ultimately, this echo was detected by Shauna May. Tragedy is commonplace, and each leaves its own imprint on the Force. Shauna May could only detect the disturbance because of who perpetrated it, her own master. Ask, and I will answer. I have learned much of the Brotherhood of Shadow from the artifacts' remains and the writings within this temple. They are not a force to be trifled with so lightly. The Brotherhood of Shadow was a faction within the Sith that originates from ancient times, when the Sith themselves were an actual species rather than merely an ideological view held by the corrupt. During an invasion of Korriban by an advanced race of aliens who referred to themselves as the Infinite Empire, the Brotherhood of Shadow was a faction of individuals that served the Sith King exclusively as a sect of highly skilled warriors and assassins. It is said that the strategies and tactics the Brotherhood of Shadow pioneered on that ancient battlefield was what ultimately brought about a victory for the Sith, despite the Infinite Empire's greater numbers and advanced technologies. This artifact you speak of, the one that you destroyed, its origins do not lie with the Sith, but rather with the Infinite Empire that tried to enslave them. The artifact seems to have been used as a form of punishment for the corrupt, one that separates mind from body and then casts it into imprisonment. It probably came into the Sith's possession around the time of the failed invasion. The ancient Sith were once ruled by a single man, a wise and powerful king named Addis. Under his rule, the Sith were a prosperous and honorable species who had ambitions to expand their influence across the stars to create a galactic society based on principles not too dissimilar from the Ichanis. But these ambitions were quashed after Addis sacrificed himself to save his people from the enslavement of the Infinite Empire. Addis's Sith believed him to be immortal and that his rule would thus be eternal. When Addis was killed, they were unprepared to deal with the vacuum of power that was created. At first, it was assumed that Addis's advisors, the Sith King's proclaimed successors, would be the ones to lead the Sith into the future, to claim the riches of an unknown galaxy using the technology they had acquired from the Infinite Empire. Yet Akira Khan Sin, leader of the Brotherhood of Shadow, believed himself to be the one who should lead the Sith, and so he betrayed Addis's designated successors in an effort to install himself and his sect of assassins as the unchallenged rulers of the Sith peoples. Ultimately, the Brotherhood of Shadow was defeated, and their insurrection quashed. As punishment for their betrayal, Akira Khan Sin and his Brotherhood of Shadow were condemned to imprisonment within the Infinite Empire's artifact. It is there they would spend an eternity reflecting on the corruptions that had consumed them. Akira Khan Sin was the Sith who led the Brotherhood of Shadow, a faction of warriors and assassins who pioneered the strategies and tactics which ultimately defeated Korriban's alien invaders. He was said to be a charismatic figure, a powerful force user, and skilled in the arts of combat. When the Infinite Empire invaded Korriban, boasting advanced technologies and superior numbers, it was clear to Akira Khan Sin that they would never be victorious if the war was fought using an approach that relied solely upon brute force. Thus, the Brotherhood of Shadow was born, a sect of elite Sith warriors that chose to forsake the individualistic nature of their species and see themselves as a single entity, an entity that answered only to the Sith King. Whilst the Sith King's armies weathered the wrath of the Infinite Empire, it was the Brotherhood of Shadow that covertly waged a silent war behind the enemy's own lines, decimating its tactical and strategical competence by assassinating the key military figures responsible for coordinating the planetary invasion of Korriban. The repercussions of this silent war were soon felt as the Infinite Empire's armies began to collapse upon themselves in the absence of an effective command. Whilst personally leading the armies which bore the full might of the Infinite Empire, Addis, the King of the Sith, was killed. A dying King Addis entrusted the burden of kingship to be spread amongst his most trusted of advisors, proclaiming them the rightful successors to his rule. This move angered Akira Khan Sin, who believed himself to be the one worthy of leading the Sith peoples. After his insurrection was stopped, the rightful rulers of the Sith designated that Akira Khan Sin and his Brotherhood of Shadow be condemned to imprisonment within the Infinite Empire's artifact. The artifact itself was a crude device, not suited to harboring beings who wielded power on the scale of the Brotherhood of Shadow. I suspect as generations passed, Akira Khan's Sin had learned how to interfere with the workings of the artifact from within, allowing him to gradually impose his will upon the great void that imprisoned him. But considering his physical body had long since been destroyed, he was unable to escape the artifact, only managing to project himself as a specter into our reality when an individual was foolish enough to tamper with the artifact. And even then, in our world, without the power of the artifact to provide for him, his spirit would have to leech from the life force of the living to fuel and maintain his presence here. The physical bodies of Akira Khan's Sin and his Brotherhood of Shadow have long since been destroyed by the ravages of time. To exist in this reality, the spirits of these ancient warriors would have to assume control of actual living people. Hosts, if you will. But the true difficulty lies not with simply finding a host, but rather with finding a suitable host. In life, Akira Khan's Sin was a powerful being, and so requires the body of an equally powerful subject. In his eyes, you would have seemed the most suitable of subjects to serve as the physical body for the Brotherhood of Shadow. The Temple of Shadow is an ancient and forgotten structure built by King Addis's designated successors to house the artifact which the Brotherhood of Shadow was imprisoned within. Constructed out of materials scavenged from a captured enemy temple, it also became the focal point for the Brotherhood of Shadow's power. Whilst it is true that through your actions the artifact was destroyed, the spirits trapped within survived. Within you, Revan, Aduros, Namek, and Shana May are the remains of the Brotherhood of Shadow. When the artifact was destroyed, the Brotherhood of Shadow's fractured remnants penetrated all who had witnessed their destruction with intentions to leech from their life force in an effort to survive. Scattered and weakened, these remnants must be returned to the focal point, the place in which its essence can be restored and its power once again made whole. The focal point is this very chamber, the heart of the Temple of Shadow. The ritual I have performed on each of you, its purpose was to siphon the Brotherhood of Shadow's remnants from within you and allow them to be reunited. The raw concentration of energy that you see before you is for all intents and purposes the Brotherhood of Shadow. With its power reunited, all that remains for them is to find a means to exercise that power. A host. The power of the Brotherhood of Shadow lies in the ability to summon forth these creatures of betrayal at will, and only one, the dominant will, may exercise that power. When the Brotherhood of Shadow is introduced to a new host, the existing dominant will of the Brotherhood must confront and defeat the will of this host. The victor is granted the Brotherhood of Shadow's power, yet also suffers a loss of identity when they become its personification. Since ancient times, and more so since their imprisonment, the Brotherhood of Shadow, rather than seeing themselves as a group of individuals united by a cause, see themselves as merely a single entity. These beliefs were personified in the Brotherhood of Shadows mantra, the Code of the Shadow. Then, at last, it is time. Shauna May, once an individual with an identity to call her own, now nothing but a hollow shell, yet she can still be salvaged of use. She will become the Brotherhood of Shadows host. When the reunited essence of the Brotherhood is introduced to her body, her hate-filled spirit will gradually be consumed by Akira Khan's sin, the dominant will. Yet the power traditionally wielded by that dominant will shall no longer be theirs to grasp when they have fully consumed the spirit of their new host. Instead, through the force bond of master and apprentice, that power will be transferred to me. I will claim the Brotherhood of Shadows' power, yet I will not become their personification. I will retain my identity. I will remain Darius Solomon. I have waited so long for this day. My mind and my body are prepared to face you, to defeat you. Awaken, Shadow, and claim your prize of flesh. Process has begun. The Brotherhood of Shadows' power is being transferred to my body. Soon I will have what I need to finally attain vengeance. I can feel the Brotherhood of Shadows' power penetrating my body, but I need more.
Now.
The process is nearly complete.
The power is nearly mine. Just a little longer. Just a little longer.
Sarah, it's me, Kobayashi. You've got to wake up. You got to break the bond. I know you can do it. I know you can beat this. I know you've had a tough life, but you're still strong. You can still fight. I saw that on the Orion. I see it now. The truth is, I know what it's like to lose everything too. I was once a different Kobayashi. I was once a Jedi. Look into yourself, past the hatred, past the lies. Don't you see? We're the same. We're the same.
Randi Chawa Tongbola Johnny Ku.
Trust me, you don't want to know.
No! The connections have been broken prematurely. The Brotherhood of Shadow can no longer claim its host, and I can no longer claim their power. My power.
Hachu Apanki, Jishawa Anibung Kasha, Jonasi, Ichua Byongbo Johnny, Minamambato Mule Ra. Dong Abuk Shami no Nok.
Hey, well, don't mention it. To be honest with you, I'm still trying to figure out how I actually got through to you. It's been a long time since I felt the Force strongly enough to actually do anything with it.
Hachu Apanki, Jishawa Anibung Kasha, Jonasi, Ichua Byongbo Johnny.
I can't say I've heard the term, but I was never the best Jedi. My master was a great woman, a bit like you in more than a few ways. Stubborn, but a great warrior. But they say a Jedi's life is sacrifice, and my master's was no exception. She lost her life one day as we fought to defend a settlement from a pirate raid on some obscure planet you've probably never heard of in the Outer Rim. I failed her because the Force failed me. It turned away from me, so I returned the favor. I was all alone. I was captured by the pirates who had slaughtered my master and too stricken with grief to do anything about it. I figured it was all over. But then he came. My savior. The man who I owe my life. Damon Drexel. He found me, killed my captives, and took me as his own. He was on the run back then, having just fled from the Sith in a stolen Republic ship he named the Orion. He sought a new life, a life which I admit appealed to me, so I joined him. Damon Drexel saved my life. Had he not disappeared, I'd still be with him now.
Randi Chawa Tongbola Johnny Ku.
Solomon, is he dead? I think we should postpone this until later. We still have the Brotherhood of Shadow to worry about.
Hachu Apanki, Jishawa Anibung Kasha, Jonasi, Ichua Byongbo Johnny, Kakin Cha na Kwat na Bon Kon, Wanakumbes, Chi Pala Mulek, Tongki Pa Nagnonek.
I think we're getting a little bit over our heads, people. This structure is massive and all we have are simple weapons.
Kakin Cha na Kwat na Bon Kon, Wanakumbes.
I'm always one to suggest ideas when I get them, but this time, I've got nothing.
You
got what? You've got what? You were carrying explosives all this time? And you didn't think to tell us? To warn us? That's great. We can destroy this chamber. We can destroy the Brotherhood of Shadow. No, there has to be another way. Nobody has to die. Not here. Not after all we've been through.
Master, I will stay. I shall be the one to detonate the thermal charges.
Verbal? No, you can't. You'd be destroyed, and without your memory core, I wouldn't be able to rebuild you.
Master, I am a droid, model S0Z3, a non-organic machine composed of steel and wiring. You're a living being, with a life of significance and fulfillment ahead of you. It is a harsh truth for me to accept, but your existence is more important than mine.
Laboda ni winkis matoma, wanakun bes jingpa marulira, tok jingbang non kik, tok ninja mulira rabes, uba batu goji, tong non bong shang yung yang.
Thank you, Verbal. Thank you for everything. I'll never forget you, that I can promise you.
Master, despite your imperfections and flaws, I have found you to be an insightful character. You must keep yourself functional, at all costs.
Don't worry, Verbal. I may be incapable of many things, but looking after myself is luckily something I'm good at.
Kun Kili no ba!
Shadow, grant me your power. Use my body to do what I alone could not.
Pudu, Tunirama na praka donkod searcha chupapanki.
Svilia, Tonghat Saks Wamaji, Yuma Lipa ak Inkokun, Uba Batu Konchi, Yutuka Halwa, Ichuta, Tonghat Wamaji ak Inkotun, Jobaso, Tonkin Bano Kunne, Yutuka Halwa, Tonghat Eldas Wamaji.
Pudu, Tunirama na praka donkod searcha chupapanki.
Ichuta, Tonghat Wamaji ak Inkotun, King Kun Jobeshok.
Dong abuk shami no nok.
Uba Batu Konchi, Yutuka Halwa. Jobaso, Echu and Pinky, King Kun Jobeshok, Chora Mulira, King Banu Kunne Kloda, Shakti King Watawama Mulira. Kawa Bota, Ayua Takwa Kenki Dora. Jiska to Suki Kuba Bora Night Kapshu, Ichuta, Tonghat Wamaji ak Inkotun.